So it looks like it's just the three of us at the moment. So the team must be a little busy in Paris. So we can run through the agenda, and I think probably make it like briefer than usual, and maybe on our like in the channel, I'll just share the notes and post what priorities we kind of initially talk about, but I want to make sure obviously that we get input from the rest of the team as well before we like 100% lock it in. How does that feel for everyone?
Yeah, it feels good.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if we can be like, I mean, because we just had a meeting yesterday, and I don't know if we're really going to do anything more, and I have other things I could do. So let's try to be really fast.
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, so I will skip the centering just in an effort of time. But for check-in, how are you feeling right now? What's your goal for today? And how would you like to use our time together on this call? I can get us started. I just did some Kundalini yoga, so I'm feeling very centered. My goal for today, being that we don't necessarily have like what you would call quorum for the team to set priorities for this sprint, I think just for us to initially talk through what we feel are some good priorities to suggest to the greater Give team in the tokenomics channel. And yeah, we can just review the remaining things potentially rolling over from Sprint 11 and what potential like new things we'd like to focus on. And I'll pass it to Lauren.
Hey guys, I'm feeling good. Yeah, I'm eager to like kind of focus and get some work done. So kind of yeah, I guess I mean we could quickly review what we talked about yesterday, and I don't know if there's any other outstanding things that we need to talk about. But I really feel like almost like we could make this call like 10 minutes, and that would be like my ideal goal. But yeah, I'm here for whatever time we need, and I'll pass it to Donna.
Yeah, I feel good as well. I digged into Dap Node in the morning, and I was really interested in the technology. And as we had a meeting on Give Sprint Planning yesterday, as Lauren also stated, today we can just go through the main points and what features are going to be next launched, and yeah, that's it.
Awesome. Thanks, you guys. And yeah, yesterday was closing out Sprint 11 and reviewing where we're at with things. So we are all aligned there. The intention of this call is to determine our priorities for Sprint 12 and what we're going to focus on for this next 2-week iteration. So if you would like to follow along on the Notion agenda, I posted a link to it in the scheduling channel as well as the Give tokenomics channel. The initial intention was to set priorities and then get clear on action items and owners of each task, but I think we'll probably just use the time to initially set some priorities, and we won't assign owners or clear actions yet because we need to run it by the rest of the team. I don't think there's any like major updates on the DApp node launch since we spoke yesterday, and we're all in the Love Squad channel. Keep up the good work. I've put up here in the agenda open tasks from Sprint 11, the things that we didn't completely check off and we're still running through. So that is the design stuff, getting the governance proposal around liquidity mining parameters approved through a vote, continuing to push gardens and hoping for them to redeploy Rinkeby with the new settings, resolving the dynamic issuance rate tension, and that is all. So for Sprint 12 priorities, I am recommending that we obviously continue with the things that we discussed yesterday that are rolling over from Sprint 11, with the addition of continuing to onboard Donna onto the team and making sure that she feels comfortable and well-resourced. And then I added a bullet here, enhancing communication with DAppNode developers. Just seeing like the best ways that we can like integrate the people that are working on the tech into our sprints, and not necessarily having them in each meeting, but like how we can have clearer communication with them, at least from Donna and I's role standpoint. Lauren, do you feel that there are any other additional things you'd like to see us focus on over the next 2 weeks?
I think, did you mention the design? Because like kind of just, I think one of my personal priority for the next 2 weeks is like to support and to kind of just keep pushing at the finishing out of the design, like for givebacks and the give drop and stuff. We talked about it yesterday, but I didn't hear you mention it just now.
Yeah, I have that at the top of the list from what we're rolling over as what we didn't like fully complete from the last sprint. So like continuing the the feedback on Marco various iterations of the give backs and give drop design stuff. Is he gonna have like separate design files that he's creating around give stream, or is that just kind of like an element integrated into like the give drop?
I think it's going to be it's going to be a part of the give drop, and then probably also on like the dashboard we were talking about.
Awesome.
Yeah, but I don't think anything else, like, I mean, what you said about DAppNode, like enhancing communication with DAppNode developers, I think like also another priority for me this week is like to just try to support DAppNode as they kind of like going through this, like clearing up things around the airdrop and like we were talking about, like keeping the vibes high and stuff. And then I think just like all the lessons learned that come out of that, like things that I'm realizing some things, like people are having trouble claiming on their phones, and that's something that they didn't think to test, that like we probably wouldn't have thought to test too. And other things like this, I think, are great lessons learned from DAppNode. So yeah, just kind of like watching
like how we can support them in the community, you know, with like onboarding and resolving tensions and keeping the vibes high, but also even like, you know, maybe we talk about this in communications, like public relations, either like how can we support them? I mean, I know I went through and did some social media, but just like brainstorming other ways that we can support them as like a partner, and also look to maybe even have like plans in place for if something like this were to happen with us, like just discussing in advance, like how might we handle something like that? Like what would be our plan of action could be cool to kind of get the ball rolling. Mm-hmm. So we are like proactive, not reactive.
Definitely.
Can I give a feedback that I think can I mention something?
Yeah, go ahead, Donna.
Okay. Well, I think I went through the introduction to DAppNode, and I think it's really cool. And but I think we need more like easy to read guide. It's not that easy to read. It's just text. We can have like flowchart, which is more like in a snapshot. People can see what's going on and how to like what's the rules, and everything is I think it's more like user friendly. And I don't know, what do you think?
Yeah, as far as like the documentation stuff, like if someone is newly coming to the Upnode website and looking to understand what it is and how to onboard, is that the content that you're talking about, Donna?
Yeah. The newbies to that note. Yeah.
Yeah. Lauren, isn't that what you and Mitch have been working on?
Documentation, yeah. We do have some documentation that's like ready to go up for Daphne, but it is like mostly text based. Donna was talking, I think, like more that she would like to see like kind of like more visuals and things.
Visuals, yeah, I think it's better.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's so. Lauren, what do you think? Is it a reason there? You're just providing text, or?
I mean, with the Daphne launch, they really launch things pretty quickly, and there's like all of these things take time. If you want to create like animations or designs, like you have to involve more people, and yeah, and it takes like longer to explain things. And then when things are a little bit more technical, then I don't know. Yeah, it's just kind of more in the interest of time that they don't have a lot of animations. But yeah, with Giveth, we're working on like the give drop designs right now, and Marco is trying to come up with like good ways of visually representing everything. So we're going to have a combination of both. But I think the documentation is still necessary and useful to have in text. It's not like really there for people who are just like, oh, like I don't know. It's not really there for just like easily consumable. It's for people who kind of like want to more dive deep into the details of things. But I think there's value and merit to having both.
Yeah. That's what I think as well. So, so far as
and like Dapnode is we're working on Giveth. Dapnode is like a partner or a sister organization in a sense, and sometimes we will like there's a few people on the team that kind of cross over and work on both organizations. But I think for this sprint, I imagine that we would want to like focus our resources mostly on how we can create or adapt or learn from what Dapnode has done and create like more visual documentation for Giveth, for example. I mean, and a lot of the documentation we've been creating on the comms team for Giveth, I wouldn't say it's super visual, like we use memes and stuff, but I guess when we sometimes use like screenshots of like a flow when we're describing a certain element. I think that's an easy way of doing it, is just like screen captures. Like Lauren said, it takes a lot more resources to create a video.
Yeah.
For example, but we try to do that when we're able to and when we feel like it's really would make a big impact.
Yeah. And I have a question. Forrest, what do you mean by enhancing communication with .NET developers? I mean, where is the problem?
That's what I was sharing with you on our one-on-one call when I was expressing like with Griff, just that in the PM role, like I personally, when we had like Edu and a couple different developers, like Griff was kind of the go-between with them and I wasn't communicating with them directly. And so that bullet is just suggesting that like discussing a plan where as you're onboarding, you can be in more direct communication with them.
Okay. So the solution is more direct communication with them. That's it. Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we've got some points around design, and I really liked what you said yesterday, Lauren, like creating getting like organized with a clear checklist of clear deliverables for Marco so that he like really understands all the different like design pieces we're working on. And then if there are any questions or like whenever it makes sense for us to schedule like hack sessions and actually just talk through some of these concepts or give feedback like together on a call, we can absolutely do that. But I think having like that clear checklist will be helpful for our team and also helpful for him.
Yeah.
And then supporting DAppNode and PR and community support, and taking a look at our documentation and their documentation. And yeah, as you're going through, definitely besides just testing, like all of that feedback that you have, Donna, for sure capture that in the Notion doc, because that's helpful.
Okay, sure.
Are there any other things that we want to mention for Sprint 12? Okay. Well, I feel like, yeah, we don't really need a whole lot more time than that. I can just put those into some clear bullets and post it in the token channel and just open it up maybe for the discussion about how we were able to use the time, and we can assign like specific task owners and break these down a little bit more when we have more folks on the call.
Thanks, Forrest. That sounds great.
Awesome. Well, thank you both for joining.
Forrest?
She was cutting out a lot. Did you hear her well, Donna?
No. Like,
You are very happy.
Forrest, we cannot hear you. Just
Yeah, Forrest, you're cutting out quite a lot.
Okay.
Oh, well.
And I'll be,
I think she's disconnected or something. Can you hear her, Lauren?
No, but I think we were wrapping up anyway.
Yeah. It's finished, so
Okay, well,
should we leave?
Yeah, I think. Okay, thanks, guys.